Hello, in this video I'll go over the steps to create a budget. Simply, a budget is a detailed representation of future results. It's a process to estimate the amount of revenue the business will earn and expenses that will incur over a future period. In this example, I will go over one calendar year, and that will be from January to December, as you can see. Now, why is creating a budget is important for a dental office in this format? Well, I'll show you how to set up revenue targets for each providers and set up target budget for each expense category. And most importantly, I'll develop a clear picture for your office profitability in this section. Now, I use a simple income statement to create this budget template. At the top, you can see the income section, and then below that is the direct cost, and here at the bottom we have the overhead expenses. Now, and across I have set up the months from January to December, and then the year-end or year-to-date totals. And here I have the target profitability, and this is just an estimate that I used for each expense category. For example, if I want to spend, let's say, 2% of revenue in marketing, I just put 2%. I can even change that to 3% if I'd like. So this is very flexible based on what your office profitability target you'd like it to be. Okay, now here at the bottom, I have a simple calculator that will project revenue per provider per month. So for example, if I have dentist 1 will work, let's say, 18 days in a month, and the average daily production, let's say $3,000. Now that would be around $54,000 in a month. And let's use another example here. Let's say we have another dentist that will only work 8 days, and this dentist would produce let's say $1,500 per day. Now my total dental production for the month is around $66,000. So I'm going to use the same example for hygiene. Let's say the first hygienist will work 18 days again, and the average daily production, let's say $750. Okay, so in a month, our hygiene would be around $13,500. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and plug in this information, this revenue projection, under the income section. So for dental billings, that would be $66,000. And for hygiene, that will be $13,500. So total income for the month is $79,500. Now, you can see that my formula populated all the expenses in this month, and simply it's multiplying the profitability percentage target by the income. So for example here, let's say the dental supplies is 8% of my total income. Now what we can do, for example, in the next month, let's say I can make the working days more or less, and let's say we go for 20 days. Notice that the dental production increased. Okay, if the production, for example, goes up, okay, this number obviously will change. So we can change the production up or down, also change the days. Same thing for hygiene. And this way we can project the revenue that the office will produce for the entire year. So for example, I'll go here simply, I'll go put 76,000. Okay, and let's say IR hygiene is 25,000. Okay, and now this gives me all the expenses related to the month of February. Okay, now what's important here to notice, if you want to the office profitability to increase, you need to manage the expenses to achieve the desirable profitability. Let's say you'd like to be at 15% net profit. That's obviously after, paying all the dentists and paying all the expenses. Well, then you'll have to find ways to cut costs. For example, I have dental supplies sitting at 8%. That means in January I spent 6,360, and in February I'm spending around 8,000. Well, that's a lot, and let's say I want to keep this around 7%. So that means if my production level is around 100,000, my dental supplies a month should not exceed 7,000. That means I'm staying in my range. And notice that when I change from 8% to 7%, now my profitability improves to 13%. Now we can do that with other expense items. For example, wages and salaries. If I'm able to keep it at 24% of my revenue, that means, again, if my revenue is 100 grand, my payroll should not be more than 24,000, right? And now we gained here another percentage point. So the idea is, with this budget, is to really focus on what my profitability should look like and find ways to manage the expenses to achieve that profitability. I hope this helps. Drop me an email if you'd like a copy of this template. Thank you.